next week will be like a part 2. And to kind of, I think, get into this, what we were just talking about, Lorraine, like come down into your squat. Yeah. So my feet are kind of turning out a little bit and my heels are down, which doesn't mean anything other than that my Achilles tendon are pretty open.
Yeah, my heels tend to come up.
Yeah, it's just Achilles tendon might be tight, that's all. Which for you makes complete sense because your hamstrings are tight, yeah.
Yep.
And then do a little forward fold. Let your head go, wag it yes, wag it no. And then inhale, slowly roll up, right? But being kind of conscious of energy, like unfurling, right? Like the energy of you. Yeah, that's it, Nathaniel. Okay. My feet are more than hip width apart, so it's kind of like a modified horse stance. And we're gonna start off with the raised hands, which I'm showing you from the side. So my palms are behind me, facing behind me. My knees are bent, and it's that motion of like when you, right, you throw like a sheet on the bed. That's it, Nathaniel. Like that. Yeah. And my arms are about shoulder height, maybe a little bit lower. Knees are bent. And what I'm doing is kind of sending sounds completely insane, but I'm sending the consciousness in my fingers to expand outward and kind of read the landscape. Right? And then inhale, exhale. And then inhale, exhale, draw back, right? So now my hands are at chest height, and then inhale, exhale, push down, and the legs straighten. Yeah. And I'll face you guys again. So the knees are slightly bent, toes are facing forward, palms are facing behind you. And I'm going to encourage you to really, y'all know I don't know why I suddenly sounded Southern, but White Tara has eyes in her palms, soles of her feet, and the third eye, 7 eyes. So with the eyes in your palms, see behind you. And then inhale. Exhale, right, that's it. Okay. Expand outwards, notice, see. Inhale. And then exhale, gathering that energy into you. Inhale. Exhale, push down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, notice, scan. Exhale, draw back. Inhale. Exhale, pushing down. Right, so really feeling like the energy moving over the back of the spine and then down, like this rising and falling energy that's everywhere. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, just stay right here for a moment, right? Expanding, spreading your fingers. And as you do that, even notice what happens with your back. The back begins to open. Inhale. And exhale, gathering, drawing back into you. Inhale. Exhale. And pause. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, just stay. Feeling energy and just noticing energy all around you. Inhale. Exhale, drawing back. Inhale. Exhale. As you push down, kind of notice the difference in the density of chi between right and left. Right, like you can, I don't know if you've ever dribbled chi. Let's do two more. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, drawing back. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Yeah, and I want you to notice, if you can, like feel the energy beneath you that's holding your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, gather. Inhale. Exhale. And then pause here. Do you guys have any questions about that one? It's like magic land. Yeah. So I want us to kind of utilize or tap into that, both utilize and tapping into the energy of that as we do the wood element in the prenatal series, which is, I'm gonna have my right foot forward and my left foot back just a little bit, but it's inhale, right? I make myself, this is in martial arts, this is your chamber. The knee comes as close as possible to the chest, and then exhale. Yeah. So it's like inhale, gather, exhale, down. And my left foot is turned out at a little bit of an angle, right? You don't want to have, because you want to be able to have some agility in that also. So don't forget about the earthly doors, right? Because that really helps us maintain balance as we move around. So inhale. Yep, exhale. And back down. That's it, Nathaniel. And I'll show you one more thing about this. As you inhale, come up, exhale, and then inhale back and down. From being a kickboxer for a very long time, you don't extend the leg and then just put it down, because somebody can grab it. Okay. So here, inhale, gather, exhale, back. That's it. Nice, Lorraine. Good. And so the tricky part is actually doing it really slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So you see how we're kind of doing the same motion, but now we have our leg involved. Now, find your mountain. Step the right foot back a little bit. And for you guys, so I'm much more comfortable with my left foot forward because I'm a southpaw. This might feel more comfortable for you. Okay, so the weight is on the back foot. Inhale. That's it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And we'll do a few more slowly, slowly. So inhale, gather. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gathering energy into me. Exhale, right? And sometimes you could be like, mantra of the day is fuck this shit. Come back. Nice, Nathaniel. And bring it back down. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. That's it. You got it, Lorraine. Exhale. Back's doing okay?
Kind of.
Okay. So let's do this. Come back to your mountain. Okay, pause and notice. There's like a wide stance mountain. Turn the palms around. Okay, we'll close the practice as we normally do, stepping the right foot back to the left. And again, noticing the meridians of the subtle body come into your Taiji Mudra. And then if it's appropriate, right, come back to your squat, lengthen your lower back. It's kind of an interesting practice, right? Like this up and down motion. Which is pretty much the mirror of everything, right? Everything rising and falling. So since we're conveniently here, left hand is the earth, right hand is the heaven. It's the human. And then why don't we gather our, come back to our seat. You know, there's something that I had a dream once, and the reason I say this because it reminds me of what you just said, Nathaniel, about that kind of inner fire, you know. I had a dream once where I was, I don't know, somewhere in Asia, and a Tibetan nun had came up to me and she said one word, which was vitality. You know, and like these practices are about kind of tapping into vitalness, you know, energy, seriously. And they are, for me, like a sanctuary. Just to be able to practice. I would do it for another couple of hours if I didn't have to deal with everything else. How are you doing, Lorraine?
I'm okay. I don't know if this is anything normal, but I kind of felt some ancestral stuff coming through with
With the kicking one?
the one before that.
Oh yeah, that one's super powerful. That raise hands is like, I get the same thing. That's why I said it's like magic land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. It's really shamanic. And sometimes I notice that I may be cueing my experience, which can be useful or not, right? Because you guys are having your own experience. So what I would recommend, and that practice, especially near any form of water, it's like, so yeah, play with that. I feel like every I don't want to call them pose, but every movement, right, has its own quality, and we're drawn to them for a particular reason, right? Like in the same way that when we practice yoga, I mean, I've literally been in classes where I'm like, nope, not going to do that one because I know what's going to happen, emotionally and mentally. It's not the physical, it's what happens emotionally.
Yeah, I was really surprised once when I went to a Kundalini yoga class thinking that, with my back, that might work wonders. And instead, I got really sick and it just felt really dark and creepy almost. And it's just, I about ran screaming to the street, and I've never tried anything Kundalini since.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I still haven't figured that one out. So
Honestly, I think that there are, I've had memories come up, and of course, this is going to sound crazy, but since we're Buddhists, it doesn't. I've had memories come up from other lifetimes when I'm doing a physical motion in this one, and I'm like, whoa. And so that's like, we carry a lot around with us.
yeah, I'm wondering if that's the thing. I keep seeing a red sun sometimes when I meditate, and when I do practice of any kind. There's this red sun that seems menacing, and I'm not sure if it has something to do with China,
Maybe.
because the takeover in Tibet and everything.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
What?
as all of my teachers, all of them have ever said, whenever I've experienced something, like a phenomena or something like that, all of them have always just said, just notice.
Yeah, don't read into it, huh?
Just notice. Because I've, many times, I think I told you about the time I went to go talk to Wang-Yo Rinpoche, who is a Bon Buddhist, and I was explaining something, and he's like, well, what did it feel like? And I said, I felt like I was opening a channel. And he's like, well, yeah, you were. It's not,
Oh, okay.
notice. And then, when things get super, well, I think if you start developing an attachment or an aversion around it, notice that, and then also maybe seek out a teacher or a counsel. There are common phenomena that people experience through meditation, they're kind of like guideposts, like I remember feeling like I had a face on each side of me, right? Foreheads, very common imagery in meditation practice. Or when you start to see this kind of electric blue light appear, also very common. Which for me is like, oh, okay, I'm in that place, and again,
And not
just
resist, not resisting kind of openness, curiosity, just noticing.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, and perhaps like see where that goes,
yeah,
because there's so many different kinds. And then, the red sun, I mean, write about it, draw it.
Yeah, I need to get more into journaling. I kind of, right before all my surgeries and everything, I've kind of put it off. And I don't know, it's been hard to get back into it. I've had journals since like 1995. Some of them I think I should go and burn, but
I've had journals since I was 13 and I have them all here.
wow.
yeah, I've got all mine. Yeah.
And they're
Well,
like, go ahead, Nathaniel.
I've, like, even if I like dictate, like, you fucking motherfucker, all this shit, but eventually, like, I come back to empathy and compassion for myself. But it's like a cathartic release, or if you're typing or writing it, of getting it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the process of, taking it from here and putting it there, and that, which is not any different than like when we did wood element just now, right? Like when I go to the gym and I'm hitting a heavy bag or a human, it's the same. I'm gathering energy and like, and for me, literally trying to dispel and destroy my own delusion and ignorance.
Mhm.
And people usually around me are like, what's happening?
Don't mess with her.
Very Mahakala. Meanwhile, they don't know that I'm seeking to be a bodhisattva.
What
Uh,
what can you recommend to help loosen the Achilles?
Down dog, if you can. Down dog is such a it's an amazing practice. It's if I cycle through practices. There was a time where I was holding down dog for like 5 minutes. And now I'm coming back to it. 5 minutes is a really long time to start, start for like 3 minutes, but down dog eventually will start to lengthen everything and also get you really strong, your shoulders and, but the Achilles tendons will start to lengthen. Yeah. Cause anybody that drives in a car, your Achilles tendons are definitely going to be shortened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is if you're standing on a step, right? And like, this is my foot and I just drop my weight down and
Okay. Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
yeah. But down dog is really interesting because I feel like down dog's really interesting when you hold it for a long time because it starts to work some magic on the kidneys. So you can play with that, especially if you're like really breathing into the kidneys and widening the space there,
Definitely should do that more often, I guess.
By mountain, are you saying we're kind of, you get that root lock, the pelvic floor tightening? Is this opening the top?
What you do, mountain pose?
Yeah.
Yeah, always. Yeah, I mean, the pelvic floor, ideally, especially for women, but for all humans, as you're walking around the day, just notice when you're not engaging it, and then when you're engaging it, and it's an energetic, it's subtle but powerful.
Yeah, like all the surgeries have just ruined my pelvic floor. So like I did pelvic floor physical therapy, which is so like vulnerable for last year and then the year before for about 6 months. But yeah, like they don't, that's so important to everyone. And there's not a lot of education that goes out to people about how important the pelvic floor is.
Yeah, I'm in physical therapy for pelvic floor right now too, and I think a lot of it well, it's a lot of stuff from my past, but also, being female and having some recent surgeries, the abdominal area, it really does mess it up, especially your muscles.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's why when we're sitting and when we're really kind of organizing the gross body, and you find the sit bones, right?
Mhm.
And so the sit bones, within the sit bones is the pelvic floor, and that's when you draw it up. Yeah, and even just in noticing that and connecting with that, then you're not thinking about anything else. You know?
Like I've noticed my senses, like I can feel my feet, my hands, I can hear, so many, like all at once, like my uh sensory perception, and I've always been super hypersensitive, but it's like the ability to kind of be grounded in all these ways and notice all of it at once is pretty amazing.
Yes, you remind me if you can next week, and we'll do the wheel of awareness. And then what I notice for myself is, because I do that all the time, I'm constantly like, my neuroception widens out and widens out, because that's the
Yeah.
practice. And then I think that is the parallel to the kayas. Yeah.